Hello everybody, welcome back to day 2 of my 2021 spring series. I'm so excited for this, you guys. I just can't even tell you how excited I am. So remember, this is in collaboration with Deborah Adams from Deborah Adams Creative Life. That is her YouTube channel, and Rosa Kelly from Rosa Kelly Scrapbooking. Both of their channels will be linked below. There is a giveaway. So I'm going to be showing what we're going to give away on the last day of our series. So on day 6, I'll be showing it, and then the giveaway will be announced May 3rd. So I cannot wait to show you guys today's project. It is so darn cute and super exciting. So I used a collection that I picked up from Michael's to create this little book with. Well, I guess it's a card box. It's not really a book, but that is what it looks like from the top. And I show you guys how to make the whole thing in the video. It does have a little seam binding closure here. So it opens up like this, and then it does stand on its own, just like this. Okay, I'm gonna lay it down to show it to you guys. So I show you guys how to create these 2 separate sections in the video. And then it has 4 cards in here. It can hold probably more than that, but these are very dimensional cards. So it has 4 cards, and this is all just using the paper pack. I show you guys how to use it, how to make everything with just the paper pack. And then there are 4 envelopes in here as well. So I am so excited to bring you guys this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy it. And please come back tomorrow for day 3 for another super fun project. Okay, so for our 2 little boxes that are going to go inside the little card box, you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 9 by 7.5, and on the 9-inch side you're just going to score at 4 inches and then flip it in your scoreboard and score again at 4 inches. So you have an inch in the middle. You can also score at 4 and then at 5. I just like to do it the other way because then I find I get an even section on both sides. And then on the 7.5-inch side, you're going to score at half, 1.5, 6, and 7. Okay, so all the way down, 1, 1.5, 6, and 7. All right, now we can go ahead and burnish all of our score lines. Okay, so I've burnished all of the score lines. Now what we're going to do is this entire section here, on both sides, I'm going to cut out. This, I'm going to cut out this little rectangle on the side here, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is cut, starting at the second score line here, all the way to the top to the first score line there. That's the first thing we're going to cut. And we're just going to cut to the inside of our score line, all the way to that first score line there. Then we're going to cut out this section here, and then we're going to cut out the little rectangle here. And as you come up to that first score line, you can go ahead and angle in to there, just like this. All right, and then we can angle our little tab as well. Make sure to get out all the score line, because if we don't, that is going to make a tight pocket or a tight just like so. All right, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to the inside of this score line, and we're going to cut all the way up to our first score line up here. then we can cut this off. And then cut out the little rectangle here. Just like so. And then again, we'll angle cut this here. And then we'll also do a little angle on our tabs. This just helps it to go together nicer. Okay, so now you should have a piece that looks like this. So I am going to be using this die here. So this is just a double stitched die to create this like fun shape across the top here. You could use a border punch if you'd like. So you'd want to do that though before you put it together. So if you want to border punch this, you can do that. So this is the back of our box. This whole section here is the back, and this is the front, okay? So basically, you could use any punch or die to make a little fun shape here. You could just leave it square and skip this step entirely. I'm going to use this die, and all I'm going to do is place it just like this and then run it through my die cutting machine. Okay, so I've used this die, and like I said, I just placed it right across the top like I showed you, and I ran it through my die cutting machine. So I'm going to show you kind of with whatever shape you choose to use. If you choose to do that, like I said, you could skip this step entirely, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it look like it's like all one piece back here, okay? So what I'm going to do is close my pocket in to the top like this. All right, and then so now you can see that doesn't look like this, right? So what I'm going to do is take a pencil and mark around my arch there, and then I'm also going to mark a little tiny bit on this side there like this. All right, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along my little mark there. And then I'm going to take and come in here and snip from this little mark up to the back of the box here on a diagonal, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and then you're going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So like I said, this can be applied for any shape you choose to do across there. So again, close it in, not permanently. And then make your little mark across here and just extend it a little bit back. And then cut down, just like so. And then diagonally up to the top, just like that. So then, that is what gives us our cute little custom looking shape there, just like this. So now let's just glue our tabs down. All right, now we will add our glue to this little tab here and our side tab. You could also use tape, of course. So first, just bring them down and bring your little bottom tab in, and then bring it up to the side. So it's all nice and even. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder to press the bottom tab, and then kind of just my hand for the side tab. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just add your glue, and then your glue on the side tab. Bring it in. So I'm going to bring the bottom one in first, and then this side. just like so. So again, I'm just going to use the bone folder for the bottom tab. And then you can also run it up the side if you'd like. And there we go. There's our cute little box for one side of our card box. And you're going to do the same thing to create your other side. Now for the enclosure that our card box is going to have, you're going to need 2 pieces that measures 7 by 6.5, and then for both of them on the 7-inch side you're just going to score at 4 3/4. So we did the same thing for both of them. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue all over this, and we're just going to lay them together and attach them together to create our little cover. So all over this whole entire section here, just on one of them. You can also use tape for this. All right, and now we are going to just glue these together, making sure not to go over the score line on this one. And then burnish it down from the back. And then that's what gives you your nice little enclosure for our card box. So now these are just going to get attached on both sides to the inside, and I'm going to attach them all the way to the outside corner. So there's going to be a tiny bit of space in here, which is exactly what we want. But I am going to attach them all the way to the outer corner here. So I'm actually going to use my Fabri-Tac for this, just because it gives me a tiny bit more time to get my boxes aligned. All right, how stinking cute is this? I love it. Look how great it looks on the outside too. Okay, so for our closure for this, I'm just going to attach a little bit of my score tape right here on the front. And I'm going to remove the backing, and I have some seam binding here. I'm just using some white seam binding, and then I'm going to place it right around the same place at the back, just about like there. And again, remove the backing, and then put that piece on top, and then you can trim up any of these little extras. But you're going to want to do this step before you attach your patterned paper to the front. And then we're just going to tie a cute bow. I think I'll leave all of that ribbon on for now, and then if I need to take some off later, I can. Okay, now, so to decorate our little card box, I am using the Jen Hadfield Homemade collection. It's called Heart and Home, and it's really, really pretty. And besides 2 little tab punches on the front of the book. Everything I used is from the book or from this collection. Super pretty. I cut apart some of these little 2x2 cut aparts, and then I definitely obviously use the papers. Look how gorgeous. It's so pretty. And then for the cards, I cut out some of these tags, and then I actually used the crocodile to punch the little eyelet. So I punched out the little eyelet where the eyelet would go, and I set the eyelet in with my crocodile, and I just added some string to that for the cards. So I used 4 of these tags to make the cards. And then, yeah, the rest of it, I just used the paper. It's super, super pretty. I didn't use any of these larger cut aparts just because I didn't feel like any of them really worked for, you know, to give, for cards to give out. So first, we're just going to go ahead and decorate the inside of our little card box here. So throughout the decorating, all you need to do is measure your spaces and go down 1/4 inch on top and bottom. That is what I do. So for example, this space from here to here is 2 1/4 inches, and this space from here to here is, so 2 1/4 by 4 3/4 is the space. So my layer is going to measure 4 1/2 by 2. Okay, so that's going to be my layer that goes in here. And I also used my Tim Holtz distress tool, and I distressed all my edges. You can also just use a scissor to do that. If you don't have the distress tool, then you just use a scissor and you just go around and kind of rough up your edges. But I'm going to fast forward me just quickly decorating the inside of the book here. Okay, so I am done with the inside. So as you see, I kept it pretty simple. You can literally do this with any collection. Just find little cut aparts. Even if they don't have cut aparts, you can cut pieces out of the paper, all kinds of fun stuff. So the front of the book, I did much of the same thing, or sorry, I keep calling it a book, it's a card box. This layer here measures 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. And again, because there's ribbon here, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue this on. Other than that, I would have used the art glitter glue as well. So again, you can see I distressed everything. I just like the texture that it gives it. It kind of adds a whole other layer without having to add a whole other layer. So for my little tabs, so these are just tabs that I cut using this tab punch. It's from We Are Memory Keepers. So you just put your paper in there and punch. And that is going to go right here. And then I have another one that I'm going to put on the opposite end at the bottom, just for a little something. Other than this, there's no other die cuts. Everything is from the collection. And then we'll glue this down. Kind of just in the center. Like so. And then this is one of the larger cut aparts from the collection. It just says Grateful Heart on it, and I am going to pop this up. So I just distressed it and then backed it on some of the same cardstock that we're using for the book. So I'm just going to put a couple of strips of my foam adhesive on there. Just like so. Give it a good press down. And I'll take the backings off. And I actually really like sometimes working with more limited supplies. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit more creative. I'll just kind of center it, or maybe a little bit more down into this corner. All right, so that is the front done. So now let's work on the cards for the inside. Okay, so our card box is going to have 4 cards. You could probably fit 6 if you wanted to do. I'm going to do 4 for now. And I've kindly picked like a thank you theme for mine. So I'm going to make one in real time with you guys, and then I'm going to fast forward me making the other 3. So the layer, well, the main card base measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and then on the 11-inch side you're going to score 5 1/2, so it makes your standard A2 card size, that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and then the layer for the front is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have again just went around and used my distress tool to distress all the layers, even the tag and everything. So I'm just gonna use my art glitter glue and glue it down right in the center, just leaving that nice pink layer all the way around. And then I've got another one here that measures 2 1/2 wide, or tall, sorry, by 4 inches wide. And that's gonna go right there like this. If you have anything directional, make sure you're going the right way. And then I have a little 1 inch by 3 3/4 piece of just scrap paper, and I just cut a little fishtail on both sides, and that is just gonna go right in the center like this. All right, then here is one of the tags that I cut out of the collection, and like I said, I just punched it with my crocodile. So I just made the hole, and then I put the eyelet in and set it with the top, and then I just ran some little baker's twine through there, and I am popping this up. So I've got some foam adhesive on the back, and then this one I'm going to kind of put at a jaunty angle because the little saying is going this way. So I'm going to cut this off a bit for this one. So that is one of the cards done. Okay, so that's all 4 of our cards put together. Now we are going to put them in our super cute card box. So I'm going to put 2 on each side, and then I will add the envelopes. Okay, so I've got 4 envelopes here that are A2 size envelopes, and I just buy mine at Michael's. So I'm just gonna put 2 in the back of each of my little sections. Just 2 envelopes back here. perfect. And you can use any color envelopes you want. You can make your own envelopes. Maybe if you have the envelope punch board, that would be great. And that completely finishes up the inside of our little card box. And I think it's just so pretty. So I'm going to tie up my bow here. And I might end up still making my bow a little bit shorter. We'll see. I do like kind of more, you know, drapier looking bows, so I don't mind it at all the way it is, but we'll see. So for the back here, we have a piece that measures, again, 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I'm just gonna use my art glitter glue to attach it. And I'm just gonna take and put a little bit of the Fabri-Tac right on top of my ribbon there. And then just attach that to the back. Finishes it off really pretty. And then for the spine, I have a piece that measures 2 by 6 1/4. And again, I've just kind of distressed the edges of these. So that is gonna go right there, right centered into our spine. Looks so pretty. And that finishes it up, you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I hope that you will be back tomorrow for another fun day of our spring series. Have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Love you all.